Howdy, Noah Kagan here. I was number 30 at Facebook, number 4 at Mint.com, and I am the founder of AppSumo.com, which is an 8-figure business, and it is the number one site online for software deals. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how I run an 8-figure company so that you can create and run one for yourself. 2 quick things before we jump in. Number 1, the secret to all this is hard work. I know you don't want to hear it, but I'm just going to tell you, if you put in the work, I promise you're going to get results. And the second thing is that for every 8-figure company, they all started with 1 figure. Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, they all had 1 customer. So make sure you just get started today. That's most important. Let's jump right in. So first off, whenever you're starting a business, the most important thing is have a clear goal with a deadline. So this is AppSumo.com. This is exactly how it looked when I got it started. And my only goal in the beginning was to make $3,500 a month so I could go just do this and live on the beaches of Thailand. And in the second year, I said, all right, well, how do I get 100,000 email list signups in this year? So the most important thing, again, you guys pick a specific goal, emails, revenue, monthly budget, whatever it is, I don't care, pick that. And so that was really helpful for me to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. The second thing that's really critical as you're getting going and starting and running your 8-figure business is 8-figure decisions. And so that actually took me a little bit to understand what that meant, but specifically, let me show you what sendfox.com. So when we were building sendfox.com, it's email marketing for content creators, people like YouTubers like me. And we said, well, if we're building this, is this at least a 7-figure opportunity? Now you're starting to catch my drift? So as you're doing things in your business, as you start scaling up, as you start growing the business, you have to ask yourself, is this a 6-figure opportunity? Is this a 7-figure opportunity? Because at the end of the day, this is an opportunity cost, and you have to say, well, what is the best use of my time, and start choosing higher figure decision activities. Next up, number 3, is 10x things that work. So when I started doing AppSumo, I basically spent about $1,000 in ads when I got started. It sounds not a lot of money, but the point is you got to get going. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't know, you've already done it all. But it's like, yeah, I started somewhere and you should start today too. So I spent $1,000 a month, and now this is our ad account. We've spent almost $4 million in 10 years, which I find crazy. And it's also a lot of airline miles. But the point being is that it didn't start somewhere. It said, hey, what's working? Which for us, ads were working. And now we're spending upwards of $250,000 a month on our advertising. So what in your business can you 10x? So can it be your sales team? We've taken our sales team from Olo and Eamon to now I think there's about 6 people on the sales team. For us as well, we had affiliate marketing. Now affiliate marketing is a 6-figure channel for us because we've said, hey, this is working. How do we 10x it? Same with our email marketing. Now we have a team of 5 people. And so I'm trying to show you some of the fundamentals, which is goals, 8-figure decision thinking, and 10xing really the things that work. And don't worry about this is where the size that we're at. Worry about you and just getting started. Number 4, weekly pulses. Boom, boom, boom. Weekly pulses, think about an airplane. You know when you walk in the airplane, you see the dials, you're like, man, that's a lot of dials. I've always been amazed with how many dials. And when you run an airplane and when you run a larger company, there is a lot more dials. So you do need to be looking at more numbers as you're trying to run a larger organization. The 2 major things that we like to do in our weekly pulses is number 1, how are we doing against our key goal for the year? Again, I told you already, that's how we do it. Pick your destination, have a plan of getting there, and then you need to review it. We review it every Monday and Friday. So number 1, do that. The second thing that's really key is your leading indicators, especially now with things being so uncertain. You have to say, what are the things I can control or observe that'll show me that I'm on the right path to the destination? So I'll tell you our exact 4, and hopefully you can copy them, or maybe you find your own leading indicators that'll show you that your business is doing well or not. And the most important thing with these is how are they trending? Is it going in the right direction or not? And figure out what you can control. So we look at email signups, traffic, refund rate, and our conversion rate. And so what you need to be considerate of is that matter for you, but for us, email, traffic, refund, conversion helps show which way the business is going. And this is an example of one of our daily pulse images. So if you've learned something so far, you want to learn more specific questions, make sure you hit subscribe or comment so I can help you out and make more videos just for you. Next up is optimizing the 80%. So what the heck does that mean? So think about it like a house. Every house, probably where you live in, or an apartment building, or a tent, it has a foundation, and then you build up. And so what most people miss is that, I want to run a large company. I want to have my own business. I want to make more money. But is your foundation great? And what I've observed is that literally 95% of people, it's not. And so foundational things are, how is my typing speed? How is my tracking mouse speed? How is my laptop or phone or whatever device I'm using? So let me show you some exact things so that if you can optimize the 80%, which is what's the foundation of where I spend a lot of my time, and make that really effective, everything else will produce multiple results. So in your tracking speed, if it's not at the fastest, you're missing out. Because damn, you're dragging your slow ass mouse all across the screen. So move that track speed all the way to the fastest. Promise you in a day, you'll get used to it. And when you go back to another slowed mouse, you'll be like, oh, this sucks. I promise you on that one. Next up is your phone or your laptop. Hello. Oh, it's for you. Make sure you have a phone. They're basically saying make sure you have a fast computer or phone. But the point is not about phone, computer necessarily, or spending a lot of money. It's what am I using all my time on? If it's in Photoshop, if you're a farmer, do you have the best farm equipment? I don't care. I'm saying for the internet world, your computer is the gateway to all your productivity. So make sure you have the right tools in place. Next up, this is one you're not going to be expecting. You'll be like, no, what are you talking about? Like, show me more like marketing hacks. So marketing hacks matter when you have a problem that's solved for a lot of people, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but I'm just trying to show you how to be more effective and efficient to running a business. So typing speed. When I hire people, I look for their typing speed, and if they're not at around 70 to 80 words per minute, I've generally not been impressed with a lot of people like that, almost all the time. And so here's 3 sites that are totally free to get your typing speed up. Number 1 is keybr.com. That's keybr.com. This site is 10fastfingers.com. And the last one that I like is called ratatype.com. And so what you should do is go to these sites, practice just 20 minutes a day. If you can get your typing speed up, think about it. We think and speak a few hundred words a minute. And if you're typing, if you're chicken finger typing like some people, I'm looking at you, you know who it is, wink. Everything else is going to be slow after that. So make sure you go and figure out how to optimize the 80%. Next up is think about the tools you use all day long. So if you're using email, which I know all of you people are, yes, you, I'm looking at you, I know you use it. So if you're using email all day long, go and turn on your Gmail shortcuts. And the point being is not just about email, but I want to just really get people thinking about what are the things that I use all day long and how can I learn to use those better and save time on those things so I can focus on what actually matters. So in Gmail, make sure that you have your keyboard shortcuts turned on. So it's right here. Just make sure you have that. Next up, let me show you some basic things and a little bit more advanced things so that you get the most use out of your email. If you're doing Photoshop, if you're doing Final Cut Pro, if you're doing design, whatever it is, figure out how to use those specific tools better because everything else will then produce a lot of great results for you. So here's my favorite things in Gmail. Number 1, hit Shift question mark. Boom! That will show you all of the different keyboard shortcuts. I love all my sounds and kind of funny things that I'm doing. But number 1, you can figure out, all right, what are difficult keyboard shortcuts? And just learn one a day. Just one and get started with that. But let me show you some of my favorite ones that I always use. So I love using J and K. You see how it kind of goes up and down the emails? Whee! Next is you can hit X and that'll mark an email. You can hit J again and hit X in another email. But in this email, you can hit star to star it. You can hit Y to archive it, or you can hit enter, which will take you into that specific email. Within this email, I'm going to show you a few of my favorite things that I like doing with when I'm doing emails, because again, guys, if you can save time doing this, you can focus on the creation and running the business and growing the business, or get a lot more productive things done. So if you hit R, it'll help you reply to an email. Now it's automatically in there. I'm going to show you something that Ashley showed me. Maybe you guys already know it, but it's Control Command Spacebar brings up these emojis. Boom, deuces, Josh. Got you, man. So other things that I think are really cool when you're using Gmail is hit that L button, label it, throw the thing in, and then hit Y to archive it and get it out of the way. Or you can enable send and archive. The last thing I'm going to show you in Gmail is GI. Takes you back to that gorgeous inbox of yours. But again, guys, if you're spending a lot of time in Gmail, go learn their shortcuts. You're going to hit Shift question mark. Next up is Zoom. Everyone's going crazy on it. Oh my God, where'd Noah go? So what you got to do in Zoom is Shift Command V. Bam, look at that mug. Rub the genie. Look at AppSumo. Where'd it go? Anyway, so that's Control Command V. Other two ones that I highly recommend is Control Command A, which is going to mute you. Hello, let me talk. Or hit the space bar so that it'll actually temporarily unmute you. I learned that one from Neville. I thought that was great. And the last one I like is I, so you can invite. If you ever want to invite people, I always find it a pain in the tuchus. So Command I to really easily get those and invite things set up. All right, number 7. This one is the biggest one, and I actually think you guys are like, oh my God, I thought there's gonna be marketing and other hacks. And yes, I will get into those things about how do you actually pick categories and things like that, or specific questions you can always leave me in the comments. But the thing that's critical here is your sleep. Wasn't expecting that one, were you? So think about this though. Everything you do all day is based on what? It's when you woke up in the morning and everything you did. So if you wake up like shit and your day is like shit, you're gonna create shit and not do good shit. That's a lot of shit there. So I'm just gonna walk you through my sleep setup because I think it is that important. So first off, this is the bed. I use a sleep memory foam mattress, memoir foam, as if you want to call it, and it's only $365 on Amazon. And I think what I've noticed is that a lot of these like brand name, super expensive people, they literally use the same exact one, and they just charge you a whole lot more money. So I definitely recommend this one. Next up, I use the Oura Ring. It's right over there. I love this. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. I think I have a hookup, okdork.com/Oura Ring for $50 off, or we'll have in the description. But what's so cool about this is that it's an amazing way to track your sleep. And I thought, okay, well, what am I going to learn? I learned about what times to be going to bed better, what things like drinking or not drinking can affect my sleeping. And it also, I think what it does most importantly is kind of wearing a Fitbit. It helps you say, all right, if I'm going to go to sleep, I want to be intentional about having a better sleep. And so I definitely recommend it. I think it's only a few $100. Next up is chilitechnology.com, the Ooler. This one, I definitely was not expecting to be great. And I was like, all right, I don't get it. But it's basically an air conditioner or heater for your bed mattress. And I've used mattress pads. And I think mattress pads are one of the cheapest, most affordable ways to make a cheap mattress feel great. And this is another way that I thought was really powerful for it. So basically, if you sleep hot, which I realized I did because I'm a big old grizzly bear, look at all that hairy chest, they actually help you cool down. So you could set it to 65 or 70. And they have ones where it's like your partner could actually be at a different temperature than you. And I've definitely been really surprised at how much I'm enjoying this. Next up one is one I don't think we'll talk about as much, or maybe I would recommend you trying it out. I know my fiance was really into it. It's a weighted blanket. And so it kind of feels like you're in a womb, which I'm not sure why that feels good at all. But I definitely recommend trying it out for yourself and seeing how it makes a difference. I think that's what I'm trying to tell you with sleep, is that sleep is super important. I think a lot of us don't realize how important it is unless we have an off day. And so it's like, how do you set that up so that every day is great for you and build a great foundation, as we already talked about. So next up is the pillow. I've tried Layla. I've tried My Pillow. I've tried a lot of them. I like the Tuft & Needle original foam pillow. This works for me. And then what I put this in is my JCPenney Ultra Performance 575 sateen sheets. What are ultra performance sheets? Like, what's like regular performance? But I love these. Wirecutter reviewed them as their favorite sheets that are best value. And make sure with JCPenney's, if they got a coupon, so go grab it when you get these sheets. I'm a super fan of these guys as well. I've bought it twice. And lastly is tint. Yeah, window tint. Who would have thought it'd be window tint? I would have never guessed. But I don't like blackout curtains personally because I find out when I wake up, I'm disoriented and I always feel like I sleep longer than I need to. That's just for me. So I would recommend grab this. It was really cheap. Plus it keeps the room a little cooler, especially down in Texas. So I like window tint, and that is my sleep setup. But by the way, hit the thumbs up if you've learned one thing in this channel. Next up, we're going to talk about calendaring. So this is one that's gigantic, and people always have a lot of questions. How's your calendar? How do you do your week? Think about this. We all have the same amount of time. You do, I do, Bill Gates, my mom, whoever. So how is it that certain people are getting more done? And the number one thing the way that they're getting more done is that they have a clear goal and they're aligned with their priorities throughout their week towards that goal. Think about this. Your week, how much of your week did you spend on your most important goal? Probably not. Do you even have a goal? Did you watch the beginning of the episode? Most important, figure out your goal, and your week should align to it. So the first thing that I do is, if you can actually see in my calendar, I color code it. So it's green for my gym stuff. It's yellow for my Hebrew lessons. It's blue for sit and work sumo stuff. It's other blue for podcasts and other things. But the reason I do this is that it helps me visually instantly see how much of my week is in my sweet spot, is in the things that I want to be spending the most important time on. And think about that. Your sweet spot could be different. If it's sales, it's not me for sales. That's for Ullman. So he should be spending his time doing sales or teaching people how to do sales. For me, it's evangelizing and marketing and creating content. So I'm going out and saying, how do I share the things we're doing in our company? How do I find other amazing people to share their stories? And if I can spend my whole day doing all that, making these videos, doing interviews, trying out marketing experience, that is amazing. So I want to make sure my calendar is filled with that and as little else as other things. 3 other things that I think are critical when you're setting out your calendar. Number 1, auto repeat activities that you know you love. So what I do is that if you can see on my calendar, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's gym days every single day. And I know I'm going to do it, and I block it out automatically. It reduces mental energy, and I just know I'm going to do it. The other thing I like doing is on Wednesday afternoons, every Wednesday 4 to 6, I do recharge days. So I go to the sauna and I recharge. And then every other Friday I get a massage. I go to Chinese massage. It's $35. The point being is that find the things that you know you want to do in your calendar each week and auto drop those in there, so it makes it easier for you to go and make sure that they happen. On the flip side of that, what I do want to say about your calendar is that you got to reduce weekly meetings. So we were doing this weekly pulses, as I talked about in number 4. And the weekly pulses, we just, like Wednesdays, we're like, hey, let's just skip it. Let's just skip it. That's a good sign to cancel it. So all I'm trying to say is be aware of your meetings. I canceled actually all my meetings in the beginning of this year. And I said, well, what meetings do I need to have? And I think actually I realize it's too extreme, but find the right balance of what meetings are you looking forward to? And that goes on to the last part of calendaring. In your calendar, think about what you are looking forward to this week. What is it? What stuff in your calendar you're looking forward to this week? And if you're an employee or a day job, or as they say in Japan, a salary man, what is it you're looking forward to? And if there's nothing, and you're one of those jobs where you're like, man, I have to have this boss who sucks. His name's Noah. Think about what you can do at night or during lunch or in the morning or maybe hobbies or maybe the weekend. I'm doing this on a Saturday. I love doing this for you guys. So think about what you can look forward to. And if you don't have stuff to look forward to this week, you know the answer. Go make some shit to look forward to. All right, so that's it. Number 9, we're going to do in terms of running and growing an 8-figure business. It is people. Ta-da! And so I originally actually had this as number one because at the end of the day, people are the biggest differentiators in every single company. But it's not as sexy, and people are always like, oh, I know it's people. But people don't actually realize that. So Eamon, Ashley, Candace, Brandon, Chad, this is the difference between a very large business and not. And so if you think about it, Facebook, Google, Amazon, YouTube, these people literally have hundreds of thousands of people. There's only two ways you grow a large company. It's people and software. And so it takes a team. Like, I'm shocked that Facebook has 50,000 people to run Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. I don't know what they're doing all day. But the point being is that people are a differentiator. And so do you have the best people? And I see a lot of smaller entrepreneurs. And if they want to stay small, I think that's great. And they're like, they always say this line, oh, I just don't want to hire. I like doing everything myself. And I'm like, well, just like staying at the same size yourself. And it's not bad. You should do whatever you want. I'm just saying to get to the larger size, just start hiring an assistant. I have this lady named Jamie. Start hiring a salesperson. When I started AppSumo, I said, what's holding me back from my next level of growth? What if I could get someone to do it would help me grow? And it was a salesperson. Then it was customer support because I was doing all these tickets and I was like, man, I can't do anything else. So the point being is that people make the difference and you need to go out and make sure you have amazing people around you and just get started doing that. All right, last up is the 10-year rule. So you've heard of the 10,000 hour thing. That's for hobbies and learning a skill. The 10-year rule is something that I fully believe and started saying and realizing after talking to many, many people who've made money is that it took me 10 years to make $1 million for myself. It took me 10 years to be a millionaire. And so my point there, and I said this is the first thing when we got going in this video, is that if you were willing to work hard for at least 10 years, you will become a millionaire if that's important to you or whatever goal that you're trying to accomplish. And so there's two things about the 10-year rule that are critical. So if you're, these are all the kind of more tactics about how to run and create a business. But the most critical thing about a 10-year rule and making that business is that, are you picking a tidal wave? So what does that mean? So if you think about it, Shopify and e-commerce is a tidal wave. And I was thinking about my career. I've picked tidal waves where I didn't even do great, but because it was such a big ocean and such a big wave, I was able to benefit from it. So I picked Facebook and social networking. I picked personal finance with Mint. I did social games. I did payments for games. Then we did Groupon with AppSumo. And then we did sumo.com, which was a SaaS software. And then we've done email marketing, which is SendFox. And then we've done Haul Drop, which is promotion of products of all these Shopify stores, which is a big, big thing. And so it's not to say you should ambulance chase, because that's not what I'm encouraging whatsoever. You should find things that you're interested in. That's the second part. But the number one part is pick a tidal wave. Pick something that if you're going to do it, it's going to take you the same amount of time to do a small market thing as a big market thing. So just at least pick the thing that has a bigger market of available people. And also with that, you can start with something that gets bigger. I started Sumo Jerky as an example to how to start a business in 24 hours. And the thing was, people like Sumo Jerky, how big is that opportunity? Well, that's food delivered to your door or food delivered to your office. Think about how many companies now or how valuable that is today. So if you do something, at least be aware that there are ways to expand it or how it could be expanded. And the second thing about the 10-year rule is find and solve your own problems. Find something that you could work on for the next 10 years. I swear to God, when I started AppSumo, I just said, please let me make $3,500 a month. I don't want a boss. I don't want to be anyone's boss. I just want to find something and promote awesome shit and get great deals for I don't know how long. And I was able to do that. And so I think the thing that was surprising for me, and I want to encourage you, is that if you are going to find something at least you're going to enjoy or solve for yourself, because it might take 10 years to actually get those results. So these are the things that I use to run an 8-figure business. I'm rooting out there for you. I want you to create a 9-figure business. Hire me as your intern, or maybe I'll do your marketing, or maybe I'll put you on the show. But I'm rooting for you out there. I love you guys. Go kick some ass.